Welcome to our executive interview series at the UiPath Together Summit. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here with Krista Kinnard, Director, Innovation and Engineering at the Department of Labor. Krista, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on examples where automation has helped agencies like yours improve the workflows of federal employees or make their work behind the scenes more frictionless.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a really great place to look to that is our procurement shop. Our procurement shop has over 150 contracting officers, contracting specialists, contracting officer representatives who are highly trained, right? The government has invested a lot of money in making sure they have the skills that they need to process, evaluate, and award and manage all of the contracts that in our case, the Department of Labor manages. And there's a lot that goes into that process. So it's really a space that's ripe for automation, but it's also a space where I think you see a lot of federal employees who they're like, this is my process, I'm gonna do it like this, and there's nothing that's gonna change that, right? So one of the processes, we actually met with our senior procurement executive and he said, I've got this process. Every contractor that does business with the federal government, we have to evaluate them to make sure that they actually can do the work that they say they can do. And it's this process called contractor responsibility determination. Every one of my contracting officers has to do it. So we built a bot actually to do this. It's a process that individually takes about 2 hours. And we were able to take a bot down to do it in about 3 minutes, which is great. But the rollout, I think, was the challenging part, right? So we have this whole slew of folks who are really, really trained in this activity. It was hard to break them out of their mold, right? Out of their daily habits. So not only did we do a lot of training with them, but actually we involved them in the development process. And the first time we rolled this bot out, it was a flop. Nobody used it. It was not easy for them to interact with. It was easier for them to just do things the way they had always done it, right? Which was laborsome and it was hard and it was tedious, right? And they would even say that it was tedious, but the bot wasn't solving the problem. So we decided to take a user-centered design approach with our federal staff, right? And we created our bot center, which is this really nice point and click environment where you go in and you say, I would like to run this bot, click the button, enter my little information, off it goes, right? And that really revolutionized the way that our federal staff is able to use this bot, right? We made it easy for them to use. We made it a helpful tool in their toolbox for them to be able to get their work done.
And next, that kind of leads to a related question, which is how far along is DOL and agencies in general in training employees to use automation to do their jobs more efficiently or do more valuable work?
So we're really leaning into educating the organization around what bots can do and how they can help the organization. I think part of it is having some really good initial wins where we've been able to show the value of what bots and automation can do. But the other part of it is getting out in front of the agencies to show them the world of the possible. And actually last year, we launched our very first botathon. We had 3 information sessions where we invited everyone from across the agency, be it a leader, be it middle management, be it one of our worker bees, right, to come and just learn about what is automation, how can it really help your organization, how should you start thinking about your business processes. I was expecting maybe 20 to 50 people to come to each of the information sessions. We had over 800 people come across all 3 sessions. I was blown away. And my email after that was just blowing up with folks saying, maybe I don't have a case right now, but this is really good information for me to have. And you see, since the botathon, the increased number of folks reaching out to our RPA Center of Excellence saying, you know, I learned about this at the botathon, and at the time, I didn't have a great use case, but now I'm really looking at this process. I think it could really benefit from automation.
I think it's also a great example of helping to familiarize people with what it looks like and how it can help their job. So that's a great story, and I thank you for sharing that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Krista Kinnard, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you for joining us here at the UiPath Together Summit.
Thank you for having me.